This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, July the 14th, is a former New York Giants and LA Rams legend. He actually is also an actor, a singer, a Protestant minister, and a former player. Yeah, he played for the Giants and the Rams, and in the Pro Bowl twice. He actually has been known for his stuff off the football field, which was huge and all of that. But anyway, his name is Rosey Grier. He's still alive. He's 90 years old today. Rosey Grier played for Penn State on the defensive line and was in the 31st pick of the third round of the 1955, well, the 31st pick overall of the 55 NFL draft by the New York Giants. He played from the Giants from 1955 to 1962, during which he would lead the Giants to the 1956 NFL Championship, the Eastern Champ in 58, 59, 61, and 62. Of course, 58, they lost the famous greatest game ever played, as they call it, against the Baltimore Colts. Grier was selected to the Pro Bowl in 56 and 60. And then for some inexplicable reason, the Giants decided to trade him to the LA Rams for a defensive tackle and a high future draft pick. And he became one of the greatest defensive linemen around. He was part of one of the best defensive lines ever, the fearsome foursome with Deacon Jones, Merlin Olsen, and Lamar Lundy. So they made things happen. But the Rams could not win an NFL title or even get to the Super Bowl in his time. He spent 4 seasons with that team. He was very fearsome, but due to a torn Achilles, he ended his career in 1967. Grier is actually the last surviving member of the fearsome foursome. Everyone else is dead. Deacon Jones was the second last fearsome foursome guy to die in 2013. That was 9 years ago. However, after TV, he decided to be a community affairs host on a half-hour show in Los Angeles on KABC. And Rosey Grier performed was part of the USO in Vietnam and all that. But one of the biggest things Rosey Grier was known for was he was actually a bodyguard for U.S. Senator and presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy, or RFK for short. He was actually guarding Ethel Kennedy, who actually was expecting a child with the senator's wife. Grier and Olympic decathlon gold medalist Rafer Johnson heard shots fired ahead of them. As Grier caught up, he saw a man wrestling with gunman Sirhan. Grier jumped into the fray, seeing George Plimpton have the gun pointed at his face. So I put my hand, this is his quote, so I put my hand under the trigger housing and I pulled back the hammer so I couldn't strike. I got the gun from Sirhan. I find the pin and I ripped it out and held it. Now I have the gun in my hand, so I shoved it in my pocket. I grabbed the man's legs and dragged him onto a table. There was a guy angrily twisting the killer's legs and other angry faces coming towards him. They were going to tear him to pieces. I fought them off. I would not allow any more violence. So Rosey Grier was actually, he was guarding Ethel Kennedy. He wasn't the main bodyguard for RFK when he was assassinated in Los Angeles in 1968. Now, I think Rosey Grier had some PTSD from that, or something, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it wasn't his fault. But Grier did appear in a lot of film and TV shows. He made 70 guest appearances on TV. He was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. for an episode, A Dream of Jeannie. He was a regular cast member on the series Daniel Boone, Make Room for Granddaddy, and The White Shadow. So that was pretty impressive. He was on March Game 74. He made several guest appearances, including on Skyjacked, Macmillan and Wife, Moving On, The Love Boat, The Glove, Roots, The Next Generation, and The Seekers. He was in Quincy and E for an episode, Kojak a couple times. He was on Celebrity Bullseye. And he even was in The Simpsons. That's right. Rosey Grier was one of the ex-football players to voice himself on that Super Bowl episode, Sunday Pretty Sunday. You know, when Homer and the Springfield gang tried to go to the Super Bowl in Miami thanks to Wally Cogan, a traveling salesman voiced by Fred Willard. Yep, that one. Rosey Grier guest voice and saying that, well, after Ned says, oh man, it's Sunday and I haven't been to church yet. And Wally says, don't worry, the NFL has you covered. And then it was Rosey Grier. I thought it was Deacon Jones, but no, it was Rosey Grier who voiced saying, and Lord, may the Oakland Raiders find a permanent home. Can I get an amen? Or something like that. I can't remember his thing. But anyway. Grier had a chance to be governor of California in the Cooper National election in 2018, but he pulled out after 6 months. Grier is an inspirational speaker and works with American Neighborhood Enterprises, an organization to help disadvantaged city dwellers buy homes and receive vocational training. Grier was actually ordained a Protestant minister in 1983. So yeah, the funny thing about Rosey Grier is that he was known for his hobbies of needlepoint and macrame. He actually offered Rosey Grier's needlepoint for men in 1973. That's kind of weird how he was a needlepoint guy. Anyway, Grier has a daughter from a previous relationship named Cheryl. He later married Bernice to have one child who he adopted, but they divorced. Then he married Margie Grier and had a son, but they divorced in 1978. But remarried in 1980. Margie died in 2011, and then he actually married a school teacher in 2013. He is the cousin of Pam Grier, you know, from Foxy Brown. And here's a stat I just find out. His nephew is Mike Grier. Yes, Mike Grier, the guy who used to play for the San Jose Sharks and Edmonton Oilers, among other teams, and all that. So it was amazing, you know. Mike Grier followed his uncle career in sports when he went to Boston University, but Mike Grier is now the first black general manager in NHL history. And this was just announced just over a week ago when he did it he's now the San Jose general manager. So Mike Grier might have a great career ahead of him. Pardon the rhyme. That was not supposed to rhyme. But yeah, Rosey Grier was a better person than you ever thought. And he was on The Simpsons, so he's okay by me. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.